following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you had a beautiful week and that your January is going really well, bringing you everything that you're hoping it to bring, that this year is starting off powerfully for you. One of the things I find that comes up in the new year is that we're looking at shifting things sometimes in our life, that we're wanting to perhaps leave things behind that are no longer serving and step into new spaces or new things that will bring us forward in some ways. And something that can interfere with that process are old patterns. It's really hard to break habits and patterns, and sometimes it can feel like you're entangled in them. And this can limit you in different ways and stop you or hold you back from really stepping fully into your power, into your message, and all that you're wanting to bring forward. So today I have two experts that are really gifted in helping individuals, families, business owners, entrepreneurs, and each and every one of us break free from things that are no longer serving us and step forward powerfully, more fully into ourselves, into our gifts, really bringing more of us forward in a powerful way. So I'm very excited to have the amazing Dana Garrison joining us. Dana, welcome.
Thank you so much, love.
And then we have the powerful and dynamic Dr. Karen Jacobson. I welcome you as well.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca. It's a pleasure.
And today we're going to share a little bit of our own journeys that we have gone through in leaving those patterns behind and more stepping fully into all of us, mind, body, soul, and spirit, to move forward powerfully. But I wanted to start with a little bit of reflection and really listening in to ourselves and what our need is. And to kind of open up our minds a little bit, I wanted to share some of my own story, just a little snapshot of where I was particularly challenged with repeating old patterns. I was at a point where on the outside, I looked very successful. I had achieved a lot of things that I had wanted to achieve in my life. I was rising up the ranks, and yet felt emotionally kind of like I was falling apart inside. So I spent a lot of time hiding, spending extra care on how I looked on the outside to kind of hide what was going on the inside. I got really good at laughing when I didn't feel like laughing, trying to smile. But if people engaged too deeply in a personal conversation, I felt really fragile. And I looked up and I recognized some people that I had in my life. They were very familiar. They had different faces and different names, but they were repeating roles and patterns from my abusive childhood. And here I was way beyond my childhood, building my career, building my life. And I looked up and I had the person that would belittle me in my life. I had the person that would treat me this way. I had relationships that didn't value or appreciated me and wanted me to be less. Others that I should be different than I am. I had all of these different roles in my life. And I had to look at that and I realized, oh my goodness, I'm the common factor in this. There's something within me or about me that has created this or allowed this or even brought this into my life, and I don't want this anymore. And I didn't know how to break free from that stuff myself. I had tried everything. I wasn't sleeping well. I was stretching myself to the limit physically, just trying to keep everything together. And inside really felt like I was falling apart, trying to escape and work and through accomplishments and that kind of thing, but keeping moving, not slowing down, not listening. And when I did, I realized I really needed to get support and help. And I found an expert that could come in and really help me on a mind, body, soul, and spirit to disconnect some of those charges, in a sense, or entanglements that were keeping me tied to those patterns in my life. And as I broke free from some of those and was able to shift myself in the equation, I was able to release a lot of those relationships and influences. And some of them were able to shift and become healthier and more vibrant. And I was able to be more of myself in ease and really show up much more powerfully. So I really want you to just, for a moment, pause, take a deep breath. Just see what thoughts are kind of floating through your mind with what I just shared with you. For those of you that are driving, please keep your hands on the wheel, stay fully alert, drive, be safe. For those of you who are able to, I invite you to actually sit in a chair, put both feet on the floor. Take a deep breath, open up your lungs, your heart, feel the chair supporting you. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath again. And do you, by chance, have some things showing up in your life that you're wanting to be different, that you're wanting to shift, that you're wanting more of or less of? Just see what comes up. And if so, what is it you need to help bring that forward in the way you would like? Breathe in. Information, perchance. Tips. Encouragement. A different perspective. Support. What is it you need to really empower you in your life? To really build the life that you want on purpose and with purpose. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Breathe in one more time. And just listen for a moment. What is it you need today? And here's what I want you to do with that information. I encourage you to write it down, capture it, and then open your heart and mind to the wisdom and insight that we're going to share with you today. Perhaps what you need is exactly what's going to be provided on this show. Perhaps it's laying the groundwork for when you leave our time together, that you're ready to receive what it is that you need to move forward. But it really helps if you know what it is you need, if you're open to receive. That's where you will get more traction and more support. So take a second just to capture your thoughts. And with that, Dana, I was wondering if you had a thought or an idea or a picture or something that came to your heart and mind as we were connecting together this morning, or this afternoon, I should say.
I just saw a tribe of people all standing together in a circle with all of this love energy radiating out of their hearts, and that energy actually encompassing everyone in the circle and creating like a vibrant glowing, warm embrace around us.
Beautiful. Thank you. Vibrant, warm embrace. Beautiful picture. Thank you. And I think that's so important when we're being vulnerable and we're looking at what it is we need to feel safe and warmly embraced. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Karen, did you have something that came to your mind or heart?
Well, first of all, I really want to thank you, Rebecca, for setting the tone with such a beautiful guided imagery, a little meditation for people. And that is what's going to set the tone to our conversation. The beauty in being here on Earth is that we really are all the same. Mm-hmm. And we really go through very similar journeys. In our own way, we might be different, but the underlying thread is common to all of us. And that's where the opportunity to have hope that we can move past those issues that might have come our way, that we might have grown up with. Because the fact is that others have done it, others will do it, and people will continue to grow and support each other along the way.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And listeners, I really invite you to sit in this space with us today as we go through our time together. Thank you, Dr. Karen, for mentioning that, because as we sit in this space together, we're really able to receive and to share in that warm and safe place, to know that we're coming from a place to empower and lift up each of you. And in doing that, it also lifts up each of us. We are always receiving and growing as well. So excited to be on that journey with all of you today. And what came to my heart is I felt that warmness. So that was interesting. You commented on that, Dana. I felt that warmth radiating in my heart out to each and every one of you. And what I really want us to be willing to do today is to lean in just with open, no judgment, just really with discovery, and see what pieces of wisdom, what insights. Sometimes it'll be in your own heart when you're sitting and listening. Sometimes it'll be something that we share on the show today. But you'll really be willing to fully tune in and listen and capture that information for you and be willing to take it forward in your life. With that, we're getting ready to go to our first commercial break. I invite you to sit just a little bit more in that space, capture any insight that is coming forward for you, and we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Have you read all the dating books and online sites, yet nothing seems to click? Have you tried everything and it still didn't work? Dr. Gary Salyer and Dr. Diane Frost are your co-hosts for the dynamic and transformative Safe to Love Again workshop, where you'll discover the secrets to using your unconscious mind to find your soulmate. Visit safetoloveagain.com. The workshop will be held on Saturday and Sunday, February 28th through March 1st, 2015, in Emeryville, California. It's time to move from stalemate with love to soulmate. Visit safetoloveagain.com. Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Build your better business. Achieve that goal. Make good on that resolution. The Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break and you got a moment to sit in that space of reflection. I wanted to introduce our first guest today. Her name is Dana Garrison, and she has overcome a chronic illness, kind of a mystery illness, that started her on a journey of discovering what she's bringing forward today. I don't want to give away too much of the information you'll be sharing, Dana, but that is part of her past, of what she has overcome that helped her create and bring forward some of what she'll be sharing with us today. She's a social psychologist, and she developed the childhood re-imprinting and family entanglement work. And this has helped her really break through any blocks that she had, from financial to health to relationship. And now she has the honor and the privilege and the success that she's really been able to help others achieve that in their life as well. So Dana, it is an honor to have you joining us today.
It is an honor to be here, Rebecca. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. And Dana, I would love to, since I did a little teaser there about some of your story, I would love to have you share perhaps a little bit about why this work is so important to you and some of your journey with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually came to this work in such a bizarre way. I came down with a mystery illness that no doctor could diagnose. And it gave me chronic fatigue and insomnia and anxiety and depression. And I went to doctor after doctor, and no one could help. And after some time, I realized I'm just going to have to get on with life. There isn't a solution for this right now. And eventually, I became a social psychologist. And in that time period, I learned something that changed the course of my life. I learned that our conscious mind is responsible for only about 10% of what shows up in our lives, and our unconscious habits and patterns are responsible for 90% of what shows up in our lives. And so I went out and I started studying everything I could on how you transform our unconscious habits and patterns. And I took the best of the best of the best, and I developed family entanglement work and childhood re-imprinting work. And I did sessions on myself, and symptom after symptom of the mystery illness just lifted. And after a decade of searching, it was the only thing that seemed to be able to touch it. And then I thought, can I use this to help me grow my business? And sure enough, I did sessions working on my money blocks and my success blocks, and I was able to grow a sold-out coaching practice in a month and a half, and I broke through 6 figures in 9 months, which shocked the pants off of me. And now one of the things that I love to do, and that's deeply meaningful, is to help people break free from their family entanglements and childhood imprints so that they can have the lives they want and the love they want and contribute to the world with their gifts and live their passion so that nobody dies with their music still in them.
Oh, that is just beautiful and powerful. And I love how you just shared. Say that again. So that nobody dies. Say that again.
So
I love that phrase.
Nobody dies with their music still in them, because it's such a tragedy that people go to their graves with their gifts and their passions still inside of them. We need to create ripples of positive change on the planet, and that means unlocking and unleashing each person's potential and purpose.
Beautiful. Thank you. And listeners, I just want you to soak in that power and energy for just a moment and really, really take that in. Dana, I so appreciate you sharing some of your story and what you've overcome and what you've been able to achieve. And you touched on a few things that I want to highlight. One, that nobody dies with their music still trapped within them. And I appreciate your passion for bringing that forward. And listeners, just really sit with that for a moment. Are there things within you that haven't been sung yet, music that hasn't been played yet? And know that we're missing that, all of us around you, in our lives. A little bit of a richness that could be brought forward by you being willing to bring your music forward and sharing it with each of us. And then you also touched on, Dana, a couple things, terms, family entanglement and childhood imprints. Do you mind explaining what you mean by family entanglements?
Absolutely, Rebecca. Family entanglements are the problems and patterns that we inherit from previous generations in our family tree. So when someone in your family tree experienced a struggle or a tragedy in a certain area of life, that becomes the originating incident that kicks off an entanglement pattern down the generations. So, for example, let's say your grandfather lived through the Great Depression, and he lost the family money during the Great Depression. So that's a tragedy or a trauma around money. Mm-hmm. And he kicks off an entanglement pattern, and sure enough, your dad gets entangled with it. And his variation of the money entanglement is that he goes bankrupt, and he loses his business. And then let's say you come along, and you get entangled with a money entanglement, and your variation is that you struggle to get enough customers in your business, and you notice that you have a money ceiling, a certain amount of money you seem to be able to make or keep, and you can't quite break above that. So when someone in your family tree ran into a problem around money or success, around relationships, health, or happiness, you can end up getting entangled with that pattern, and you'll find that you have struggles in that same area of life too.
Beautiful. Thank you for explaining that.
Yes.
But there is hope, right? We don't have to permanently stay entangled in these entanglements, correct?
Absolutely not. These are not permanent, and they are not even you. They're not your true self. They're just an entanglement. So you're not stuck with them. You can absolutely clear them, and they're not you.
Okay, good. I just didn't want to leave us in this place like, I'm going to forever be bringing this forward. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
And then you also mentioned this term, childhood imprint. So can you explain what that is?
Yeah, and this is a bit of a two-part answer. Okay. So childhood imprints are the negative patterns that you pick up during your childhood. So speaking to the audience, think back to your childhood and some of the messages that you may have picked up from the people in your life. There's 3 basic kinds of imprints. There's imprints around your identity, how you think and feel about yourself. There's imprints around your relationships, how you think and feel about people and relationships. And then there's global imprints, how you think and feel about life in general. So, for example, some common ones about ourselves include, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not important, I don't matter. Some common imprints about relationships are, people can't be trusted, it's not safe to be seen, or I have to do it all by myself. You can even see how some of this will get in the way of your business growing with ease. And then there's global imprints, so things about life in general, like money's hard to make, or I'm alone, or even things like it's hard to lose weight. So those are some examples of different kinds of imprints that you might pick up along the way, all the way from when you were in your mommy's tummy and she was pregnant with you, and then just all through your childhood.
Great. Thank you for that explanation. I appreciate that. And I'm assuming, but correct me if I'm wrong, that could also be shifted.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with the family entanglements. Childhood imprints are not the truth of you. It's just an imprint you picked up along the way. It's just part of our humanity. As we grow up, we imprint different ideas about ourselves and life and people. And they're not true. They just happen to be imprints that we picked up, and you can release them. You are not stuck with them. None of these things are permanent.
Okay, good. Thank you. I want us to have hope and encouragement, information, but be empowered in that. Perfect. And I know that you put an amazing gift together for us today. Do you mind sharing what that is?
Yeah, so I've got 2 online trainings for you. One is the Get Unstuck and Finally Have What You Want crash course, where I'll help you learn about... I'm sorry?
I was saying, ta-da, see? Perfect.
You'll learn about the most common family entanglements and childhood imprints, and I'll actually help you uncover which ones you have that are active. And then you'll also receive some sessions to help you break free. And then you'll also receive the 6-figure business blueprint, the blueprint that I use to grow a 6-figure business, as well as the 6-figure business breakthrough online course to show you how to use that blueprint to grow your business so you can travel the world.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for making those generous gifts available. Listeners, here's the deal. I'm going to have you wait until the end of the show for me to reveal how to access these amazing gifts, because I don't want you distracted during our time together today, but I assure you I will let you know how to access these gifts that Dana is making available to you, and that Dr. Karen Jacobson will also be making some gifts available. So we'll have you listen in. And then, Dana, I also know you have a client success story that you could share with us. I just wanted to see if you'd be willing to share that in just a minute or so. It looks like we have till break, just to give them an example of success people have had in doing this sort of work with you.
Absolutely. So I worked with a woman named Jasmine who owned 2 elder care facilities, and she couldn't fill her second facility. And it was costing her a lot because she still had to pay rent on the space and pay her staff. And I looked into her family history, and I saw that her father was a door-to-door salesman, and he was never successful with it because he had trouble asking for payments. And Jasmine was entangled with this. This is called the no permission for abundance entanglement. And when we disentangled her from this, she was able to fill her facility within a month, and her business broke through 6 figures.
Yay.
So sometimes the thing that's holding you back is not you need to work harder. You just simply need to address your entanglements and imprints.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I truly appreciate that, and for the gifts that you're making available. And listeners, I invite you just to sit in this space and really think about, are there some entanglements or childhood imprints that you may want to be aware of and explore with the valuable gift that she has made available to you, that I'll be letting you know how to access very soon. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
We're on Facebook along with some of the greatest minds of the world, and that includes you. Visit us on Facebook at Voice America Empowerment.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Have you read all the dating books and online sites, yet nothing seems to click? Have you tried everything and it still didn't work? Dr. Gary Salyer and Dr. Diane Frost are your co-hosts for the dynamic and transformative Safe to Love Again workshop, where you'll discover the secrets to using your unconscious mind to find your soulmate. Visit safetoloveagain.com. The workshop will be held on Saturday and Sunday, February 28th through March 1st, 2015, in Emeryville, California. It's time to move from stalemate with love to soulmate. Visit safetoloveagain.com. Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break. You got an opportunity to listen to the amazing commercials from some of our fabulous sponsors. We've had some new sponsors come aboard that are really making this show possible. And so I invite you to listen in and get to know them as well, because they are believing and aligning their resources and business to empowering women, that's important work to them. And they're very supportive of you and your journey. Now, our next guest is the dynamic Dr. Karen Jacobson. And I wanted to share a little bit of her background with you, and then we'll get right to the juicy interview with her. She has a passion to really help people live mind, body, and soul in a healthy way so that they can perform at their highest level in all areas of their life. She was the wellness advisor for Healthy You TV, the Healthy You TV show, and is a best-selling author, a speaker, has several books that have been published, and wants to really help you make the mind-body connection. Dr. Karen Jacobson, I officially welcome you to the show.
Well, thank you, Rebecca, and thank you so much for Dana. I feel like a soul sister, even with some of the background, which the listeners will find out when we start talking.
Beautiful. And actually, can I share a behind-the-scenes moment that with all of the listeners, when we went to our first break, because we were in that kind of gentle, quiet listening space, both of my guests asked if they needed to speak more slowly and calmly than normal to kind of honor that space and energy. And I assured them that they could really be themselves and bring all of their energy forward in sharing, that they didn't have to stay in that mellow space, but we wanted to kind of start in a heart place. So I gave them full permission, which I love that they're embracing, to fully bring all of them and their energy forward, which is a gift to us. And right, both guests, that's a true moment?
Well, we moved from a soulful heart to a playful heart, and that's just really a beautiful transition.
Exactly. Well, Dr. Karen, I wanted to start off our time together with you really learning about your why this work of helping people live at a high performance level and really being able to make that mind-body connection. Why is that so important to you?
Thank you for that, Rebecca. I think the biggest thing for me is the realization of the fact that as people, our potential is really endless. The challenge is what we believe and how we limit ourselves. And as a child, I did a lot of that, a lot of self-limiting, and also ended up with a disease which, after multiple tests, I was finally diagnosed with systemic lupus. I was about 17 years old, and that was the time where they expect that you're really going to have the best time in your life. And those were very rough years for me. I was living overseas, and I was in and out of hospitals for about 4 years, both in high school and 2 years in my service in the Israeli military. When I walked away with the possibility of the fact that I can get better, I ran with it. And that's when I really started searching for answers, and answers on all levels. And in my research and discovery, I started healing body, mind, and spirit. There were a number of things that were monumental for me at the time, including a gift that I was given, which was Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life.
Mm-hmm.
And the direction that I started looking was how our thoughts affect not just our behavior, but affect our physiology and our biology. So ultimately, when I was doing the emotional work, I was already at the time making other changes in my life, including my nutrition and my physical activity. And I literally ended up at a chiropractor's office because of the fact that I tore a hamstring. And that's what tied things together for me when I started taking care of my nerve system as well.
Beautiful.
But it was the whole picture.
Yep. Thank you.
So I enrolled in chiropractic school. I had been in private practice for over 23 years. And in my practice, what was unique was the fact that I used all aspects. Just before I graduated, I did my fire walk with Tony Robbins and dove very deeply into understanding neurolinguistics and how they affect our life and create programs that affect our health. So I really came from the picture of how our health is being affected, and by changing our thoughts, we can change our life, change our performance, change our health, and anything else that we choose.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing some of your why and a little bit of your background and journey with all of us today. And it's such an interesting parallel to what Dana was sharing too, that this kind of mystery illness or this really challenging illness being a pivotal opportunity to find a new way to do things. And I love that led you on a journey that has created so much healing for so many people in different walks of life. So I think it's really, really beautiful, and I appreciate you sharing that.
Well, thank you. I really believe that those of us that are called, there's a part of us that probably chooses to go through challenges and trials and tribulations because that has the opportunity, should we choose, to bring us more wisdom that we can share with others.
Exactly. And I just invite listeners who that might create a little bit of a charge or something to lean in and think about. But I have found that as well. Some of these greatest difficulties or challenges that we have also been a gift for me and my journey, and have allowed me to overcome, to stretch, and bring forward even more of myself and create a ripple effect to have my journey support others. So absolutely. So I hope that encourages listeners as you are leaning into our conversation today. Now, Dr. Karen, you have used this phrase a couple times, the mind-body connection. You've talked about connecting pieces. Do you mind expanding a little bit more on that concept?
Absolutely. So in a simple form, our thoughts are basically what drive our behavior. And if the listeners were here earlier when they heard Dana mentioning the fact that 10% of our thoughts are conscious, 90% are subconscious. You think about it, if you wanted to paint a little picture, the typical picture of the iceberg is only a little bit above the water, but the majority is below the water, and that's what is creating the grounding. So thoughts are habitual, and basically 90% of what we think about today is the same thing we thought about yesterday, and 70 to 80% of our thoughts are negative. It's a habit that we have created, because our subconscious mind is habitual, the conscious mind is creative. And so in order to create changes in the body, it's not enough to just go to the conscious mind and say, well, I'm going to think happy thoughts. If underlying cause, you have something that's kind of puppeting you in the background and causing you to actually have a different belief.
Exactly.
So if I believe that I have no luck and I'm always prone to diseases, and if I go out, I love this. Well, don't go out. You're going to catch a cold. Make sure you take a sweater, and don't step into the puddles. We're actually putting negative messages that open the mind to send that feedback to the body, which is affecting our health. Not just our belief system, not just the way we act, but literally affecting our health.
Exactly. Well, thank you for sharing that with us and expanding a little bit more on the mind-body connection and how powerful our thoughts are and what we're listening to, taking in, and programming ourselves with and reinforcing. And I know that you've put together an amazing gift for us. Do you mind explaining what that is?
Well, we happen to have, since we're talking about the mind, body, and the health connection, and we're still kind of riding on the beginning of the year, I have a free book that talks about how you have the ability to change your health naturally, and that is available to all the listeners, as well as an opportunity to work deeper on a one-on-one level should they choose.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, listeners, I promised to let you know how to access these amazing gifts, the one that Dana, or the couple that Dana has made available, as well as the book that Dr. Karen has made available. So here's how to access them. If you're listening to us live on the Voice America channel, if you look over to the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see yellow words. And the first one is Radio Show Gifts. You simply click on that tab or that link, and it will open up, and you'll see the amazing gifts that we mentioned today. You simply click on them and select the ones you want, and they will be either opened right up to you or mailed right over to you. So make sure you put your name and your email address in so that you can get those gifts and start a relationship with one of our or both of our beautiful guests today. Secondly, if you're listening to the replay, here's how you access the same gifts. I promise they are still available. You simply go to www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, which is my website. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Click on the radio show tab, and right in the left-hand corner, you will see free empowering radio show gifts. So you simply click on that link, put your name and email address in, and select one of the amazing gifts or multiple gifts to support you on your journey. So as we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break, I do invite you to listen and get to know those sponsors, and also make sure to access your gifts. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com. Have you read all the dating books and online sites, yet nothing seems to click? Have you tried everything and it still didn't work? Dr. Gary Salyer and Dr. Diane Frost are your co-hosts for the dynamic and transformative Safe to Love Again workshop, where you'll discover the secrets to using your unconscious mind to find your soulmate. Visit safetoloveagain.com. The workshop will be held on Saturday and Sunday, February 28th through March 1st, 2015, in Emeryville, California. It's time to move from stalemate with love to soulmate. Visit safetoloveagain.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Success starts here. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com. It's your world.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that break, that you've dug into some of those amazing and fabulous gifts that are generously being made available to you. And as we are focusing in on the last segment of our show today, I asked my guests if they had a tip or a suggestion or something that you could take action on and implement in your life right now to help shift some of these old patterns or limiting beliefs or entanglements. So with that, Dana, do you mind sharing a tip or a suggestion or idea?
Absolutely, Rebecca. So your struggles are often not your fault. They're actually often caused by your entanglements and imprints. So the self-blame stops here. And the conscious awareness helps you break free. So a quick exercise you can do is to take a look at the places in your life where you experience struggle or where you still get triggered emotionally. And make a list of who in your family tree might have also experienced struggle in these areas. When you can see where it comes from, you can begin to realize that the pattern belongs to someone else and it's not actually you, and you can break free.
Beautiful. Thank you. Very powerful. Dr. Karen, did you have a tip or some action that our listeners could take today?
Absolutely, and it's one that actually complements Dana's, and it happens to be about our language and the way we speak about ourselves. So to take a step back and really listen to what we are saying and catch ourselves when we are saying negative things about ourselves specifically, because that is information that we are directly feeding our subconscious mind, and that's part of where the cycle comes from. So to catch that back and actually change the format and be kinder with our language to ourselves to start creating new habits.
Perfect. Thank you. That awareness is so, so important on both sides, looking at the patterns that perhaps are entangling us and bringing us forward, as well as what we're feeding into ourselves. You know, some of my friends actually tease me because I'm very guarded about what I listen to, what I watch, what I kind of let into my realm of experience, because I don't want to unconsciously be programmed, in a sense, with negative messages. I don't want to reinforce things that are not in alignment with what I want to bring forward. So I know for myself, I just am extra guarded and aware of my environment, of music that's playing or shows that I'm watching or listening to, because I know that's creating information that's coming into me. So my tip and suggestion would be diligent and be aware of what you are feeding into yourself. Don't let it happen without awareness or passively. You're too important. Who you are, what you're created to do, what you are bringing to this world and to this life is so valuable. And I personally want you free to bloom and shine and bring all of you forward. And really embrace the concept that some of these patterns and entanglements are not your fault. So the blame stops here. I love that phrase, Dana. The fault stops here, that self-blame. And that's so important to be extra kind to ourselves. Dr. Karen, like you shared, I have so many people I'll talk to, and they'll start telling me, oh, so stupid, I can't believe I did, like beating themselves up and reinforcing these negative thoughts and emotions, which is not how they came across or how we saw them or how we experienced them, but it's a dialogue almost going on in the back of their mind, reinforcing ways that they don't want to be, instead of perhaps kind of building in the way they want to be. So I think bringing that visibility and that awareness to how all of us are being is so important. And
think of it this way: your poor language toward yourself is junk food for your soul and your mind.
Perfect. Well, listeners, I want us to breathe in for a moment, take in all this amazing information that you've been given today. And really know that you can be free of these entanglements or these patterns that are not serving you. And my guests have made available some amazing tools to support you in your journey and really empower you in that. And be extra kind to yourself. Really lean in to the amazing gift that you are to each and every person in your life. I had my grandma, Bessie Quinn. She lived up in Washington. And she was stuck in her home. She had health situations. She had multiple strokes. She was losing some of her sight and was a vibrant woman that had traveled around the world. She'd actually danced on cruise ships, and she had an avid reader and listener and loved to participate fully in life. She would listen to those books on tapes, and it wasn't entertaining stories that she would listen to. It would be the latest scientific discoveries. And she would call me up and share the latest expanding discovery that had been finally revealed through watching space. And she would share that with me with enthusiasm and excitement. And that's how she looked at life. And she was really careful about what she listened to, what she brought into, and what she was influencing out in the world. And she used to tell me at the end of every call, you know, Rebecca, my health is very fragile and I can go at any time. And there was truth in that. She was. She said, but I want you to know I'm at peace because I have loved fully and been fully loved. But I want you to make me a promise. It's a little bit of guilt. Yes, Grandma. What is it? She goes, I want you to promise to take care of my granddaughter. And that was me. Because I was really good at pushing myself to the limit and past. In the highs in life, in the lows in life, I wouldn't pause. And she always encouraged me when I was celebrating, Rebecca, that's amazing. I'm so excited for you. That's great. But remember to process it on a cellular level and be extra kind to yourself. I'd say, yeah, in the celebration. I wasn't as good at pausing then because I just wanted to keep going. And then I would have tragedy hit my life. I would break up with someone. I'd have a death in the family, something that would just stop me in my tracks, and I would calm her up. And she was a kind, listening, supportive ear, and she would remind me again to be extra kind to myself, to treat myself like I would a best friend, not trying to push through or decide how I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be as I'm processing those highs and lows in life. And it's had a profound effect on me in my walk. And I can't tell you how many times there's been a stranger on the street I've been able to remind of that same message, to be extra kind. or to a client sitting across the way from me who's judging themselves or being critical or trying to push through something rather than really be loving to themselves in it. And they would never talk to their best friend like that. So I want you to lean into my grandmother's wisdom and her advice to treat yourself like your best friend, to be extra kind, really take care of yourself and guard your thoughts and the things that you're bringing in. Be very kind to yourself. Stop the self-blame and really step fully into the amazing gift that you are. And as you're stepping forward and we're moving into February and beyond, may you always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.